I know you have art marketing related questions. Let's get them answered. Let's get them answered. It's going to be an open Q&A session as we close out Thursday here. What is going on in your art, your photography, your creative business? What are you struggling with? What do you need help with? What's going on with your Instagram marketing? We can look at some interesting things that have been going on Instagram recently, if that is the topic du jour. But I'm just going to be doing open Q&A here for the next hour or so. So going to pin a comment here. Have a question? Have a question? Just ask. Have a question? Just ask. All right, let me just pin this quickly so everyone knows that they can ask any question that they might have. All questions are on the table, you guys. Like the whole point of these things is literally just to answer your art related questions. And what we do internally, we do these sessions internally all the time. And it turns out all artists and photographers are struggling with the exact same thing. The majority of the questions that people ask apply to the majority of you. So if you've got something that you need help with, that you're struggling with, tech related, Instagram marketing, Facebook marketing, social media at large, should you be doing Facebook or Instagram ads? How can you get more people to buy your art? What's going on with your email list? Should you run ads? Any and all of those questions are open for debate, open on the table. Getting my little ticker up. And there's no show without you guys asking. So how do you ask a question? All you have to do is leave a comment on Facebook or Instagram, and I will answer every single solitary one of them. Whether you are a customer or not, doesn't matter to me. Because that's the fun of it, and that's how we all learn together. So first one's already in. Thank you guys that are asking them. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the first one up. So is there a certain genre of photography art that seems to sell better than others? It's the wrong question, right? And the reason it's the wrong question is you're assuming that if something worked for someone else, it will work for you. And I find that's a really bad way to approach it. A better way to approach it is, what is an audience that I can go and target, and I know where they hang out, I know how to find them, right? And stated another way, what we normally do as artists and photographers is we're like, okay, I'm going to create the art or the photography that inspires me, that I feel creatively fulfilled creating. And instead, what no one does is, I'm not going to create anything until I go and find a diehard audience that I think I could possibly target, and I am going to go create art for them. That's the best way to go about it. Far better than trying to like ride trends or whatever, which I don't think is a a positive way forward. Instead, start with a good audience. Don't just say like, give you a for instance. Okay, let's say you're a photographer and you like photographing plant matter, right? And specifically, you really love Phalaenopsis orchids. Those are your absolute favorite. Okay, don't just go start shooting Phalaenopsis orchids. Instead, go find all the groups on Facebook that specialize in Phalaenopsis orchids. Repropagation, replanting, a fertilizing group. There'll be a million about Phalaenopsis orchids. You'll be like, okay, I know where the crazy Phalaenopsis orchids people hang out. I'm going to go create art for them, post it in there, and see what happens. That's the correct approach, correct way to do it, to find a niche that works. And let me tell you, we have 14,000 customers. Do you know how many crazy niches we have? I mean, it's like out of control. And sometimes you get so surprised by what you end up seeing. All right. So Jay Morris, yeah, it's not likely that we're going to be able to fix the shipping with Guten. The shipping just sort of is what it is. And, you have to be old like me to appreciate how awesome print on demand is for merch. Because in my day, you used to have huge minimums, and you used to have to inventory the stuff yourself. And now the fact that one order can come in and one order can go out, we just have to deal with, sort of the issues related to that, and there's not a whole lot that we can do. If you're just joining, it's open office hours. Ask any and all questions you have. Plan to answer any and all that I can to the best of my ability, but we don't have a show if you guys don't answer what you're struggling with. Certainly love to help you. I think Nick's going to come join me in a minute and try to get through as many of your questions as possible, because now is the time to get at it, you guys. It's spring, which means there's a ton of spring sales going on. I mean, I think I showed this earlier today, but should I be running a sale for spring? Do you think that's a good idea? Like, you go to all the biggest retailers in the world, and like, there's Amazon.com homepage right now. Like, why are they having a spring sale? Because they know it's a great way to make sales during spring when everyone's feeling good about winter finally being over, whether it is or it isn't. So important. Oh, I wasn't even showing it. That's dumb. Here, let me show you. It's like, why are we encouraging our customers to run a spring sale? Because it works, right? Because it just works. When the big merchants are doing these things, we need to be doing these things. It's just really good business practice. Okay. Good question. POD is awesome for sure. Thanks for making it happen. Yeah, it is. It's an amazing thing. I don't know if you guys heard my rant earlier about cell phone cases, but man, is it important. BC Doyle, just go into the private group on Facebook, Small Wins, and you can take a look at a whole bunch of different sites. That's what I would say. Yeah, Marissa's saying, so she just got back from vacation. Lucky you. I hope it was awesome. I'm actually headed out of town tomorrow for a short one because it is my kids' spring break and they've been driving me nuts, which is neither here nor there. What ideas for newsletter post, and should I have a spring sale? Yeah, I would launch a spring sale immediately. I would not wait even a heartbeat. I would get one in the water right away. We have all the documentation internally if you're a customer, so go and follow that. I don't know if you are, if you aren't, but that's what I would do. In terms of ideas for newsletter, which I think you mean capturing email subscribers, that I would do a print giveaway. I got some really good podcast episodes on this. And by the way, if you guys are not subscribed to the podcast, you should be. It's really good. We're over 500,000 downloads on this guy, which I'm really, really pleased about. It is on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. And I've got some great episodes on there in terms of the newsletter growth. So there we go. This is a great comment too. I love seeing comments like this. I am so overwhelmed with everything. What is the single most important thing I can do out of everything? Number one, understand that being overwhelmed is totally normal, totally part of the process. You're supposed to be overwhelmed. If you're overwhelmed and it feels like, oh my gosh, this is spinning my wheels, this is crazy, that means it's painful. That means you're suffering, and that means you're learning. Everyone always loves to sugarcoat how easy it is to build an art of photography business. It's not. You're meant to suffer. You're meant to have some hard times as you're figuring it all out, right? But that's okay. That's part of the process. You're supposed to be overwhelmed. Step one is coming to terms with that and being like, you know what? This is completely normal, especially as I'm learning all these new skills. And it's going to be like that for a while, and it's okay. That's just part of it, right? Haven't gotten my website done yet. Should I just list some on Amazon? No, Rosemary, it will take you way too long to get it up on Amazon. Art doesn't really sell on Amazon. So just get going on the website, get it fixed. The good news is there will be another sale coming up very, very quickly. So don't worry about that. Okay, so I have photos people ask about, and I would paint. I am again surprised how much people like my work. If I share it with friends, but it's not selling what I need the most, I couldn't even afford a good deal. Beth, I've got just the thing for you. It's called the Custom Artwork Playbook Strategy. And if you have photos that people ask about and they want you to paint, that's a great business way, a great business right there. That's a fantastic way to get this whole thing going and started. So Beth, I want you to leave the comment right here on Facebook with the word custom, and I'll send you directly to your messenger inbox. I'll send you a link to the Custom Artwork Strategy, and it is exactly what you need. Nice. Watching from Savannah, Georgia. What's up, David? How you doing? Yeah, so if you guys are just tuning in, it's just open question and answer. I'm taking as many as I can in as quick a time as I can. So you got questions, you're struggling with something, you need a little help with something, you're feeling overwhelmed like the Thar Pavilion is, don't worry. Utterly, totally, and completely part of the process. We do these sessions internally, and one of the great things about doing them internally is there's a whole lot of people that show up, and a lot of people just listen, and then some people ask questions, but everyone gets value out of everyone's question, because so many people struggle with the exact same thing. So if you're struggling with something and you need some advice on something, that is what these sessions are for. I'm trying to drive more and more questions at each and every one. So depending on what platform you're watching on, all you got to do is hammer out a question, and I will answer certainly to the best of my ability. And again, if you guys are not subscribed to the podcast, get going. That's what it looks like. It's called the Art Marketing Podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on Spotify. So anywhere you find podcasts is a great way to get some additional, art marketing lessons, art marketing level ups and it's totally free, which is awesome. So definitely check that out. But who else, guys? Questions, comments, concerns, anything that I can help you? Yeah, YouTube. It's on Jake Guitars. It's on YouTube too. the podcast. We have a huge YouTube channel. You can just search Art Storefronts live on YouTube right now, as it were. So, on there all the time. Have a couple people watching on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube, as always. I'm talking myself in circles today. What else? One huge thing that I showed this off, I think where did I show it off? And I showed it off in a Zoom session. But if you guys didn't see this, I just have to show this to you. Okay. Why is Instagram, by the way, the most important platform for artists? Because the biggest artists in the world go to Instagram to announce things, right? And this, I don't know if you guys saw this news, but it happened this week. And this is a tree, right, in England. I think it's in North London, actually. And somebody in the middle of the night, per usual, came and painted this green graffiti behind it, right? And anytime somebody does something like this, especially with a stencil, a few years ago, you would 100% know that it was Banksy, right? But now Banksy has a bunch of competition. And so sometimes they don't know for sure, like, was it Banksy or was it not Banksy, or was it a copycat? But he has an Instagram account. And so he created this artwork, right, which is like the tree behind the dead tree. And he went to Instagram to announce it, right? So, like, if the most prominent artists are doing their marketing on Instagram, it stands to reason that we should be doing our marketing on Instagram too. And do you know when you finally made it? So he did this artwork, and I read in an article, okay, on the Daily Mail, and on the Daily Mail they said that the people that live in this building that he painted this mural on in the middle of the night, obviously so he wouldn't get caught, are now terrified that their rent is going to go up just because it has a Banksy original on the side of it. If that is not the ultimate power flex as an artist, I do not know what is, right? I do not know what is. I mean, that's just absolutely amazing. So, okay. Kathy says, taking longer to get started. First meeting was very helpful. Awesome, Kathy. Yep. In the beginning, you just got to get that website live, and don't worry about anything else. Everything else can happen after the website is live, right? All right. This is a good one too. And I get these types of requests, for Art Storefronts all the time. And like, I individually look at them like every single solitary time to see what it is. But I met an influencer last week and gifted him a painting. Is there any way I can capitalize on this beyond a simple post, or was it just a bad idea? No, I don't think it was a bad idea at all. It's essentially the Flower Pavilion. You essentially just ran an Instagram ad, right? And sometimes ads bomb, and sometimes ads really do well. In your case, you're not going to know. But what I hope you do is have some way of following up with them, right? Like, you can probably send them a direct message on Instagram, or did you get their email address or whatever? And I would follow up in a couple of weeks and just say hi, and just say, if you'd ever like to collaborate anything, I'd love to, just let me know, and then shut up and see if they get back to you, right? And see where it goes from there. But I think, look, anytime somebody has an account with a lot of followers, or they're an influencer or whatever else, I highly recommend giving them something for free and just trying to start a relationship. Like, most of you guys need one influencer that like caters to your niche in some capacity or another, i.e. your art buyers would probably be on that influencer's account. All you need is a good relationship for one, and you could do a print giveaway with them once a month. Okay. You could do once a quarter, once every 6 months, and sell extremely well just based on that. So that's how I would approach it. I don't think it was a bad idea at all. The better idea, instead of just approaching one of them, is approach 3 of them. All right, is approach 3 of them. What's up, Roy? I know you sent me a message, by the way, Roy, on Messenger, and I'm not ignoring it. I've had a crazy week. This is a great one, which is, James, on ideas for naming each image. I actually really think that AI is helpful here. Do I have ChatGPT on this phone? I do. So what you can do if you have ChatGPT is it allows you to upload images. And let's just see if I have a good image on here that would work. Let's see if this one would work. Okay, I'm going to add that. And I just want to show you guys this. So I'm in ChatGPT right now. And this is great for anybody, by the way. And you anti-AI folks, will you just hear me out on this first before you go anywhere? Okay. You can upload an image to ChatGPT. Then you grab the phone. Help me write a description for this image and give me 10 ideas for a title. And this might not work because it's an image of an image, but let's just see how it goes. And what it does here, so look at how good this is the first time out, right? So what this does is this solves the blank canvas problem, okay? And when you have an image and you need to title it and you need a description, it's really hard starting from scratch. And AI is just like a great, like, get you started, you know, kind of like when they teach writing, and instead of having you start with a blank page, they give you a prompt that says, like, here's 10 sentences, finish the story. That's what AI can do, right? And so I uploaded this image and I said, hey, give me some titles, right? Give me some titles and give me a description. And it's like, the image shows a painting titled Ocean View. It's a textured and vibrant portrayal of a serene beach scene, emphasizing the calmness of a quiet afternoon by the sea. The central focus is a large beach umbrella. And the idea is not necessarily that you're going to take what ChatGPT spit out there. The idea is that you don't have to deal with the blank canvas now. You can deal with a little bit of words on it. And what I normally do is I grab like portions of that and then I rewrite it, but I'm doing it in such a more efficient manner because it's really hard to write description after description after description. And especially you're like, I'm not a writer, right? I'm an artist. So that's what I would say. What is an AI address? So you can just Google OpenAI, Jane, and it's called ChatGTP, but just Google OpenAI, and that would be the easiest way to find them. But there's other AIs that do it too. So you could even just search YouTube for how to create image descriptions with AI. I really think it's amazing. I really think it's amazing. I think, you know, as much controversy as there is about AI, there's a lot of use cases for it where you can be extremely, you can be significantly more efficient than you would be otherwise. And I think that's just a huge leg up, a huge lever up, just in general. But for those of you guys that are just joining late, just doing open question and answer here. Any questions you guys have about anything, art marketing related, branding, pricing, gallery relationships, negotiation, any and all of the above, right? I don't understand this question. So it says, does the right buyer pay the wrong price for our artwork? What do you mean by that? So to Art Photo, I don't understand that. Not enough context in there. Yeah. So George was like, absolutely amazing. Use them all the time. Yeah, like it's just such a great way. It's just such a great way using AI to help you write the captions, you know, that get you going. I mean, it's just so beneficial, you know, so beneficial. So that's what I would say. What else? Questions, comments, guys, concerns, anything about anything? I'm happy to answer as many as I can. I really enjoyed the fact that I could just like sit and broadcast from Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on all of them, and do screen sharing. Like, what an amazing thing. Technology really is getting incredible. Yeah, I'm just seeing if I missed any questions. Other than that, you know, feel free. What always happens is I'm like, hey, guys, I'm here answering questions live. Happy to help anybody and everybody. Leave a comment for a question, and then right about the time I'm about to end it, because there's no questions, I like see right when I'm like closing it down, it goes and just spits all these things out, right? Yeah, this is a great question too. So YouTube more broadly, you guys, especially for artists, I have not seen an artist leverage YouTube for art sales successfully. I just haven't. What I have seen though is artists leverage YouTube a bunch of other super interesting ways, and like primarily like to teach the painting of art. And you know, I use this example. I've got my buddy. He's supposed to come on with me this week. Actually, I gotta go write him another letter, write him another note. But my buddy Matthew Locke, right, and he's been an Art Storefronts customer for a long time, and he created this one YouTube video that went so mega viral. I want to see if I can find it. Well, let me sort by popular. My top videos. Why is it not there? I mean, I think on his it has like 600,000 views. I mean, it's something out of control. like just a ton of views. Of course, I can't find it when I need to find it in the mobile app. Videos. Let me see if it'll let me sort by popular. So the point is, I like YouTube for certain situations, but really at the end of the day, I think it's just, it's just, oh, here's popular. Oh yeah, here it is. Look at how awesome this is, by the way. Every time I watch this, I'm like, wow. Okay, something went wrong. Try again. Something went wrong. Try again. Typical. Just always right when I talk about how awesome the software is and it's just working, YouTube just doesn't want to do it. Okay, well, I'm over it. I'm not going to show it. Anyway, I haven't seen anyone turn it into like real art sales. Like you need somewhere to park videos generally, so it's good for that. But if you've got artists on there, like, and you have an audience on there, then you can figure out ways to monetize any audience that you have, even if it's a bunch of artists. Like you can grow your teaching business, right? Like we have one gal on the platform that literally, like, she signed up and I think she had like 1,000 followers on Instagram, on YouTube, or 1,000 followers on Instagram. Now she has like 67,000, and she did it in like 3 months. And she did it all from like teaching people how to paint clouds. And she signed up with us. Her name's Salma. She signed up with us because she wanted to grow her print business, her art business, right? Her originals and her prints. And I'm like, Salma, your audience is telling you loud and clear, you have a huge business here teaching people how to paint clouds. I don't know how you figured it out or what you did, but you are obviously very good at it. And the fact that you went from 3,000 followers to 60,000 means, you got something there. So I think there's no rule that says you creative types have to turn your marketing chops and your audience into print sales. And quite frankly, like, people in my company will get pissed off at me saying this, but I don't care how you make your money. If you can figure out a way to get an audience interested in something that you do with your creativity, let's turn that into a business. Don't be intransigent, okay? That it has to be about print sales and in limited edition sales and original sales and merch sales. That can be a revenue silo, but it doesn't have to be your main one. Like if you're really good at teaching, that's a God-given talent. That's amazing too. So you can do great with that, right? You can do absolutely great with that. So that's what I would say. And definitely park videos on it, but I've never seen anyone really monetize YouTube. I'm sure a couple artists have, but in terms of buyers, it's just, YouTube is more like the teach me how to do something, place. Like go there to learn how to do something. Go there to like learn how to post an Instagram reel, or go there to learn why your Facebook page is not working, or how to do various things. But that's it. Georgia, that's okay. That's what print giveaways are for. Print giveaways in person and or in face to in what did I say, in person. Print giveaways, digitally speaking, or at any personal private events, are absolutely wonderful. If you've not listened to the podcast, I have an episode on this. Every single solitary one of you guys should listen to this. Even if you're a customer, go back and listen to it again. It is number 55 on here. I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure. I'm not sharing my screen, am I? I need to be. It's called Smart Artists Don't Run Ads. Instead, they do this, introducing the loop. This is like the number one way that artists and photographers should be leveraging, or number one tactic should be leveraging, yes, for sales, but to grow their email list. And it teaches you how to do print giveaways, how to think about print giveaways, which are so important, you guys. That's like an amazing thing that you guys can be doing. So that's what I would say. All right, let's see this one. So I misquoted a piece of my own art at an art show, lower by $50 to a potential buyer. I was looking at another piece when I did it, and the piece misquoted was the most expensive. Best advice to handle this piece at talk shows because I got nervous. Yeah, just tell them, you know what? I screwed up. I'm sorry. I was doing two things at once, but I'll tell you what, if you do buy it, I'll take $50 off of it, right? Like don't worry about that. Those things absolutely happen. Diamond, I do that. I do that all the time. I like misspeak in those certain situations, and don't stress about it. You definitely don't have to let your most expensive piece go, especially when you're going to charge like thousands of dollars for it. Just say, I'm so sorry, I messed up, and don't be shy about it. It's okay. And then more generally, in terms of price talk, if any of you guys are struggling with pricing, I have like the ultimate guide to pricing, which is amazing. That explains everything that you need to do about it. So anyone wants to learn how to price their art can just leave a comment with the words pricing, and that'll walk you through, literally step by step, how to approach it, how to look at it, how to contemplate it. And then for those that are doing shows and fairs, okay, I've got an ultimate guide for that as well. So all you have to do is leave me a comment on this with the word shows, and I will send that right over to you as well. And you know, that's where we go. Those are the easiest ways to do that, and you can do that on Facebook and or Instagram, and I can send those to you, you know, direct to your inbox. So that's the ball game. That's the ball game on that. But yeah, don't worry when you miss it's like we all do that. That's just not an issue at all. All right, Nick, welcome aboard. It's been rapid fire. I mean, we've gone through a good like 20 questions already.
Nice.
Just do an open Q&A here. Will you man the floor 2 seconds? A quick bio break.
Yeah, absolutely. You need a break, my friend. You need a break. The thing I wanted to, I wanted to talk about urgency, right? This time of year, specifically. So we'll pause on the questions for a second and get back to them in a minute. But from a high level, okay, we're here to do some art marketing tips, right? The number one thing, what's the number one thing you should be focusing on in your business right now as an artist if you want to make sales? The spring art selling season that is right around the corner and is about to start. Easter is the first holiday coming up, okay? Which is just a couple of weeks away. And those of you who, you know, have been following us, or if you are customers of Art Storefronts, you already know, you got to start the marketing way in advance. So right now, you know, over the next week or so is the ideal time to start picking that up and starting to do the marketing, right? Doing your social media and your email, you know, starting to talk about, you know, Easter, the Easter holiday, and not talking about the holiday specifically, but talking about, you know, teasing that you're going to be having some promotions, and, you know, it's just another thing to talk about. And you're priming the people that are following you that you're going to have some great things to offer. And ultimately you end up offering those things. And that's how this whole thing works. It's like a 2 to 3 week, usually like a 2 to 3 week process of marketing, but it's about to start, right? And it's just gangbusters basically starting in April, right? You got Easter, you got some smaller holidays sprinkled in there. You got Mother's Day, then you got Father's Day. So it's like, this is one of the best times of the year to like start taking your art business seriously, to get it off the ground, or to make some changes from what you've been doing. If what you've been doing the last couple of months, couple of years, however long it's been, is not working, you know, or isn't working as well, like this is the time, you know? And then after the spring selling season, you got the summer selling season. A lot of people, great time to do shows, you know, there's in the summer, in-person shows, in-person art fairs or whatever that might be in your local community or in your state or in your city or the nearest city, all of that. We love having you guys get in person and, you know, let the crowd get brought to you. Let you get real feedback in real life from real people. It can really help depending on what stage that you're at. But particularly if you're in the earlier stage, it's just an easier way to make sales and get feedback and understand which pieces of content are working, you know, better than others and are really resonating. So anyways, backing up, Pat, I don't have to tell you, I'm telling them about the spring art selling season that is, you know, basically starting, you know, in the next week or so. And how serious this is. And it's like, it's just, you got the opportunity right here. It goes right into summer and then you get into Q4. I mean, before we know it, like, as we all know, before we know it, it's going to be August, September, and we're going to be talking about Q4 again. It feels like we just ended it. It feels like we just ended. And Q4, you guys, is the fourth quarter of the year. So October, November, December. In other words, the holiday season. In other words, the biggest art selling time of the year. But we just finished that whole mad rush, you know? And it's more art sales happen at that time during any part of the year. But the spring art selling season has got to be, it's number 2. This is a big time. So super, super exciting. And I can't wait for all the marketing to begin, you know, for all of our artists, you know, that are on Copilot and so forth, because man, here we go, right? Here we go.
Yeah, I should mention too, like, you know, we're in like a really weird season of life right now, right? Like strange economic times going on, presidential election coming up, all kinds of crazy stuff in the news. But you want to anchor on like what data points you have. And what's cool about us is that being that we're, you know, a little bit over 14,000 customers, and this is, I think, our 10th year in business. If I'm not correct, like we've tracked our overall sales growth year after year after year. And so we have really good comparisons year over year. And, you know, I'm here to tell you, like, these last couple of weeks in spring have been extremely strong. I mean, we had a couple of weeks that were like 60 and 70% over what last year was. And that's for everything that sells across the board on our platform. I mean, I'll give you the last 3 weeks. The last 3 weeks in terms of overall growth were 60%, 15%, and 40% year over year. And so why do I bring that up? Guys, art in photography is still selling. It is still being purchased on a regular basis. And it does not seem to be as affected as other areas, even with inflation and all this craziness that we're living through. And so, you know, we bring up these holidays and we bring up these data points because, you know, everyone, it's so easy to get down in the dumps and like phone it in and art's not selling and things are not working for me right now. But the only reason it's not is because you're not putting in the energy and effort to be marketing. And the ones that are taking forward progress and forward steps every single solitary day. So there's very encouraging information out there. And you couple that with the fact that TikTok, for the first time, is providing competition to a social media monopoly, which we're broadcasting to you live on Facebook and Instagram. You now have the ability for your posts on the most important social networks for selling art photography to be seen by people that do not follow you every single solitary day for free, just based on the quality that you put out there. And there's never been a time like that. There's never been a time like that. So, you know, I know it's hard. I know you're grinding. I know marketing doesn't come second nature to you, and that you guys are all solopreneurs and you have to wear all the hats all the time. But let me tell you, things are just rolling. Things are just rolling right now. So that's something to just keep in mind, you know, like to try to keep you motivated and keep you going, you know. So that's what I would say. But for those of you guys that are joining late, Nick and I are on here answering any and all questions you have. It can be anything art, photography, creative, marketing related. All you have to do is ask a question and we're answering live. So that's the ball game. That's what we like doing about these sessions. We have these sessions internally. We have, I think, a little bit over 9 of them a week now, Nick. And one of the crazy things that we notice is, like, usually there'll be a couple hundred people, depending on which one it is, sometimes more than that. And everybody will sometimes stay for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, because you end up getting so much value just discussing what other artists and photographers' problems are, what situations that they're going through, because everyone has the same problems. Everyone is struggling with the same issues at the same time. So we love answering questions live and helping you out, whether you're a customer or not a customer. It's for everybody, you know. Like, there's no textbook that says the top 10 ways to turn a creative talent into a business. There's no classes that have taught any of this stuff, and it's really hard to do on your own, right? Really, really hard to do on your own. This is assuming a customer. Why can I not delete the prices of sold artwork? You can absolutely delete the prices of sold artwork. Open a ticket with tech, Daniel's artwork.
Just delete it. Is it not deleting?
Yeah.
There should be no problem with that.
Yeah, delete it or just pull it directly out. Oh, I love these questions. I love this one. All right, let me get this one out. And then Nick and I will tee it up. So advertising is great, right? Like, every single solitary business needs to advertise. Like, there's almost no business in the world aside from Tesla, but even then they've started advertising. So how do you feel about advertising in high-end magazines? The danger with advertising anywhere, let alone high-end magazines, is the following. I'm just going to give this a shot. Okay, I've talked to the ad representative. They quoted me $500 for a little square on page whatever, and I'm just going to give it a shot and see if it works. Don't do that. Don't do that. Instead, light that money on fire. Because in art, in photography, in marketing, there's a thing called effective frequency. And effective frequency is some fancy jargon for the number of times a potential buyer needs to be exposed to your marketing message, i.e. your artwork, before they purchase. Okay. And at the low end, you get 7 to 10. At the high end, it's 50 or 60 different impressions. But that's what it takes, MGB paintings, for enough exposure that someone might make a buying decision. And so where everyone goes wrong is they're like, okay, I'm going to advertise in this magazine. It's a good deal. I'm going to try it once, and I'm going to put in the $500, and I'm just going to hope in a prayer, see if it comes back to me, right? It's like putting the money down on the casino table, right? And seeing what happens. You're destined to fail if you do that. Now, if on the other hand, you make a deal with the magazine for 6 issues for a price, then you stand a chance. But I don't find that magazines, especially with their circulation where they're at today, to be effective advertising, because as Nick will tell you, he and I are old. In our day, we came up, magazines were the kingpins. Those guys could charge whatever they want, tell you whatever you want, right? Make you sign these ridiculous things and get away with it. And since then, magazine readership has gone into the toilet, but they're still stuck with those same ways of negotiating and charging. So I think, I think that's what it comes up.
Not only that, Pat, it's like you shouldn't even think about advertising in a magazine at that type of a level, until you have $50,000 to $100,000 in sales, right? Like think about our customers at Art Storefronts that have 50, 100,000 plus in sales. Like maybe they could get an ROI on it, And why is that? Because first of all, you don't want to be advertising content that you don't know is going to sell, because all advertising is going to do is just pour gasoline on whatever it is that you have going in your business.
Yep.
Okay. And if that business is not doing really well, then you're pouring gasoline on a business that is not doing well. And you're spending a lot of money to do that. That's not a good idea. When you have a functioning business, what I mean by that is it's a machine. It's producing sales every month pretty consistently. And you know what content is selling, because it's usually the 80-20 rule on the content a lot of the time. At least an 80-20 on the subject matter, meaning 80% of your sales come from 20% of your content. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not ready for it yet. It's just way too early. There will be a time and a place where that might be worth a test, but it's not early on. And see, that's the problem that search engine optimization. First of all, a lot of people fall for this. Search engine optimization was something that literally was overdone and gone 14 years. It's 2010, right? And still today, artists are I just need to search engine optimize my photography or my art. And that's all I need to do, to get in the Google searches. And it's I laugh. It's I don't know who's selling people this stuff. Do not buy it, you guys. Do not buy it. But it's the same point. It's the same point. All these people go out there, Pat. They start a new art or photography business, or they have one. They haven't even sold much. They have no machine going on. They don't even know what content or subject matter is going to work. And then they go spend hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars on search engine optimization to go and promote content that's not even selling. It's not even proven yet. You don't want to be doing that.
No, it's fantastic advice. Especially don't do it until it's working. It brings up the chicken and the egg problem, but we talk about that all the time. Yeah, Marika, don't worry. We'll get you all dialed in. Just get your high res images going, and then talk to your tech support person, and they'll work with you. We have people all the time where they sign up and then life happens and crazy things happen. And we always work with them. So don't worry. We'll get you dialed in.
And Marika, even better. Give us your name, drop a comment with your name, and we will have someone reach out to you. Today or tomorrow.
Because you got to get replugged in. This is a great one. So we do. Oh, this is the wrong one. That's not the one I wanted to put in there. This is the one.
And Pat, it's not just because you got to get plugged back in. It's because this is what we do, right? We will be proactive and we'll go help you. Okay, so we will have someone call you. Drop a comment with your name. We'll send it to the team and we'll have somebody call you.
But not even that. We've been really stepping up recently. There's some portion of the people that sign up and then they don't do anything for a couple of months and they're I'm lost. Where do I go? We just put them right back in the beginning and cycle them through the entire thing again.
Exactly.
Marco's got this whole program. So yeah,
no matter where you're at, we'll plug you right back in and you'll be off and running.
Yep. We do have Australians, Court Sliver. We have quite a few actually, and it does get crazy joining some of the live sessions, but that's what the replays are for. And we'll let you submit questions ahead of time and we'll answer them for you. We have a decent little Aussie contingent going on, which is super, super fun. So we work with a bunch of them. And you could talk to them too and kind of figure out well, what do I do in this situation? What do I do in that situation? Because a lot of times Aussies will get local orders and not want to use our print fulfillment, want to just fulfill it locally, because obviously that's a heck of a shipping distance to cover. And then you use us to fulfill all the North American business. And it really opens up the North American market for you too, which is a great thing,
Yeah, we have a private member community for all the Art Storefronts artists. And, when you come on board, you get right in there. Hey, I'm in Australia. And then I'm sure all the Australian contingent that is in there will, give their advice or, tell you what they do.
Yeah. All right. So as an artist myself and my friends locally where we live always seem to fluctuate our prices constantly, significantly based on what type of show we'd be at a craft, art show, vendor. That's because you don't understand pricing. You don't understand pricing. And this is such a great question. And I love answering this one, Diamond. So the secret sauce of it is not to raise or lower your prices to the event that you are at. Although, that certainly could be construed as a technique, right? But the secret is having a range of prices. Having a range of prices. And so many people screw up on this. You need prices from 0 to 100. You need prices from 100 to 1,000, and you need prices 1,000 plus. Human beings are wired to make purchasing decisions based on comparison. When you don't have anything for them to compare things to, we have a problem establishing the value for what you're asking us for. Okay. So you'll find even at those shows that you think like, oh, well, these people are not as upmarket as that one last weekend, right? We did the show last weekend in Beverly Hills. We all cranked up our prices. This one's in El Segundo, and I'm going to knock a couple of bucks off. No, you don't need to worry about that. You have your range of pricing, and then human beings will make purchasing decisions based on comparison. It changes the entire ballgame. Now, where I switch that up a little bit, do not lower your prices for the other show, but be more willing to negotiate. Okay. And when you have your margins set correctly, we teach you how to do this. It's very, very easy to negotiate. So that's a better approach as far as I'm concerned. All right. How long does it typically take for the website to go live? Usually, at our quickest, I think we're like 10 or 11 days.
Whoa. Look. Did you see the second part of the question?
Yeah.
I mean, I have to applaud this person, right?
Yeah.
But I should be planning content specifically for the spring selling season. Yes. Amazing. Great question. This is exactly the right question. Can I get up? Can I do this for the spring selling season? This is exactly how you want to be thinking. The answer is yes. The answer is just yes. If you're signing up with us, we will get you up for this, right? You'll want to sign up like as soon as you possibly can because
this is so when it says Facebook user, it's the private Facebook.
Oh, I see.
It strips the
make sure you get the team. So you're already on board. You're already a member. Make sure you get the team everything. The person that you're working with, everything that they need, all of your images and all that stuff so that they can get the website set up for you and done and launched.
Or if you're pressed, only the images that you want to offer in the sale, and then start with those. And do
great point. Yeah. Great point. Usually that's a big hang up, right? Like I've got 500 images or I've got thousands of images. No. Just pick the 75, 50, 25 even, like just get the site up because you can add those images. It's really easy. You just upload. You just upload them right in there. So you can upload all the rest of them later or as you're going, but get something up that you can actually promote. Get in the game. In other words, like nothing's going to happen if you're on the sidelines.
Yep. Greg, to join is pretty simple. All you have to do is go to our website, or you're on Facebook right now. Just go to our Facebook profile. You can click a link in there and fill out the form for a demo, and we will call you and set up this wonderful Zoom call where we show you all our bells, all our whistles, all our packaging, all behind the scenes, all the everything, all the plans.
We have a big deal going on right now. We've been talking about this for days, but we have a great deal going on right now to join, specifically for people who are trying to get up and take advantage of the spring selling season, and are motivated by that. What's that?
Tell them what it is.
Well, I'll let them request. There's like 5 bullet points of the different things to go through. Website setup. We will manage your website for you so that you don't have to do it and you have all your time back. There's also a good discount involved to just on the one-time fee and all of that. So request a demo. They'll tell you everything and they'll walk you through everything that we do and make sure that you're a good fit.
So, all right, well, Trina, you and I are going to have an honest conversation about this one. The odds were terrible before COVID, and the odds before COVID were there was about 250,000 artists for every art gallery. Okay. Then COVID hit, and then all of the art galleries closed down. Okay. A lot of them did, and not as many opened back up. So now the number is like 750,000 artists per art gallery. So the long and the short is, they find you when you start building a business, doing your marketing, and you're super proactive. Like the goal is not to get into art galleries anymore. It's just not, because it's a lousy business relationship. Quite frankly, you know what the goal is? Open your own damn art gallery. But that's down the line. In the short term, like you could go bang on doors all day long until you're blue in the face. And normally they're like, well, what have you done on Instagram? Can I see your Instagram profile? They go to your Instagram profile. They don't want to look at your art. They go to your Instagram profile and they're like, you have 6 followers and you posted twice. Yeah, no, thank you. Because let me just show you. Here's my list of 500 artists that have over 10,000 Instagram followers each. And do you know what I see in those people? I'm not going to have to do any marketing for them.
Exactly.
They're going to drive their own traffic in here. So I would love to take 50% of their revenue and just put their art in my building, right? In that is the sad reality of where we are now.
I mean, it's exactly like if you had an art gallery and you were one of these random people, that's what you would do. You know, it's like, what are people going to do? They're going to be like, oh, I'm going to charge $10,000 or $5,000 or whatever $1,000 for the piece. Who is this person? Oh, I'm going to go look their name up. I'm going to pull my phone out. Who is, so-and-so? And then you look and you're like, this person doesn't, like, they don't even look like an artist. Their Instagram and Facebook profiles look, unprofessional. They don't have a real following or a lot of people engaging, I don't think that's somebody I'm going to have in my gallery. Right.
Yeah.
If you're prestigious. So isn't the irony interesting that the things that you have to do anyways to build your own business
is what the gallery wants.
So and that's what's so funny. It's like the art storefronts members that are in galleries, and that have been in galleries for years and all that stuff. And by the way, many of them have all the power back, because they're like, I don't need you. Like I'm selling direct. I have my own business. I have my own customer names and lists. I'm not stuck like not knowing anything and just getting a 1099 check from you, an independent contractor check, and it's because they self-empowered, right? They did the work. They learned how to do marketing direct on social media and email, just learning these things to just empower yourself to make the most money from your art and to control your own destiny and not have to be doing that. But it's so ironic that the things that you have to do anyway that are just going to help you are the only things that would get you in a gallery. And at that point, you're like, doesn't even matter. And there's nothing against the galleries, by the way. We're not against the galleries at all. They serve a purpose. And if a gallery is going to sell your art and and add more revenue to you, awesome. The way that you should think about it is a gallery or any sort of distributor or third-party seller is just spokes in your marketing wheel. I keep trying to get like in this frame of the camera.
It's really hard.
Right?
It's really hard. Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard on Instagram with this. But there's spokes in your marketing wheel, right? The hub of your business is your own website online. That's your art gallery. It just happens to be online. Don't think about it any differently. When someone comes to your website, it should feel on your homepage that they just walked into your gallery and they're looking at the art on the walls. That's why when you go to an art storefront's customer website, unless they have changed it, the best practice is you're getting right into the imagery. You don't have a big slideshow on your homepage, a bunch of graphics that you scroll down and it looks like a typical like Shopify homepage that like any business has. Do not follow that. It should look exactly like you just walked into the gallery. Don't put a bunch of things in my face. That's not what happens when I walk into a gallery. You aren't like, stop. You need to watch this video before I'm going to show you my art. And you need to look at all these images and all this stuff. It's like, no, just take them right to the art and get right into it, So these things are all so important, as you're thinking about like what you're trying to do and what type of control you want to have for yourself as an artist in the future.
Yep. 100%. This is a great question. So you guys, everybody gets so hung up on what their website might look like at launch. Do you know who doesn't? Nick and I, because we've launched too many websites to care anymore. The only thing that qualifies for me, the website being complete, is one image that can be purchased and it can take credit card. That's it. You're ready to launch the website and you're ready to go. You can adjust the prices up and down at any point in time. Take the thing live. Then your journey begins, especially with us, because we're going to teach you what to do step by step. Do not worry about all the other stuff. To quote Reid Hoffman, one of my favorites, if you're not embarrassed by your first version, you've launched too late. It's one of the best quotes of all time. If you're not embarrassed by your first version, you've launched too late. Add it to the stage. Box. You muted yourself too. I can't do it. You have to unmute yourself.
I can't do it. Yeah, you have to add it to the stage. So this is a very perfect for this. And Joseph, the answer to your question is just leave it and go, right? That's what Patrick is saying. But is that big enough? Can you actually even see it? You can't really see it.
I don't know. I don't know how did you do this? Did you get your phone on the screen or no?
No. I've got this in Google Photos. Let me see if I zoom in and make
it's working. It's working. Yeah.
Okay. So this is a perfect example, right? Can you actually read it?
Yeah.
See it? Okay. So if I don't know if you guys have seen this meme before, but the guy on the right is the ninja, the super smart person, right? And then the person on the far left is the caveman or whatever you want to call it. And then the person in the middle is the person that is, over stressing about their website. So it says, I got 100 visitors to my website. I got my analytics says nobody is buying. I'm wondering how many pieces I need. And I need to offer a new phone case. Freaking out. Right. Mm-hmm. And then while the smartest guy is just I just do more marketing. And the caveman is I just do more marketing, And so it's funny how these things really come out, but it's so true because you can stress about the tiniest little things and overstress about the background color of this or the pricing or, and all of that. And it's really just price it because you got to start just doing marketing and you need to do a lot more marketing because the marketing is going to tell you everything. You're going to get all the answers. You're going to get all the answers about your pricing. People are going to comment. People are going to do stuff. With the more eyeballs you get on your art and the more action that you get, you're going to get real market feedback finally to tell you exactly what you need to do with your business and with your decisions, And so do more marketing. Just do more marketing, right? It's the number one problem that every artist has. Okay.
Yep. And it's not going away. It's not going away no matter what we do.
And it's your problem. It's every artist's problem. And we know that for a fact. Okay. Not because we're guessing, but it's the problem for an artist that's just starting out. It's the problem for an artist that has 100,000 plus in sales. Why? Because when we're working with them, we're talking with them about it. The marketing problems and challenges that you have, they never end. They never end. And at $100,000 or $200,000 a year, the marketing problems that you have to get to the next level are completely and utterly different. And they're not even worth talking about until you get there because you need to do the things at the sales level that you are at. But at the end of the day, more marketing. More marketing is pressure towards a business, any type of a business, right?
Yeah.
And why is it, Pat? It's because eyeballs, right? Eyeballs. You have to count eyeballs. How many eyeballs saw your art today?
Yeah, how many? It's just attention.
Yeah, it's just attention. It's just count the eyeballs. When people say oh, I don't know if I should do a social media post every day or 2 a day, right? It's okay, you did 0. How many eyeballs saw your art today? Oh, 0, right? Or I had 10 people come to my website or 5 people. Okay, you had 5 sets of eyeballs. Okay, if you did a social media post and you got another 5, you just got 100% more eyeballs that saw your art today. That's what I'm talking about. And that's doing more marketing is the most important thing that you can do.
100%. Gary, what sizes DPI images are best for the website? It's pretty straightforward. You don't need this huge crazy side, but our software analyzes your image for you and then just tells you what sizes you can go up to. And I mean, what do you know what our best practice thing is? What sizes DPI images are best for the website?
It's
not about what's best for the website. You're talking, let's just clarify this. It's not what's displayed on the website. It's what gets reproduced is what he's asking. Right?
That's what I'm guessing he's asking. I mean, the highest resolution, possible, up to the limit that we actually have. And we've got an article on this. We can, I'm not sure if you're a customer or you're not, but obviously we want our customers uploading, really high resolution files up towards that limit. Because that'll allow it to be printed the largest.
DGW says it's 300. Sounds like a customer. So that's probably what I would say.
Yeah. And then on the website, just so you guys know, on your actual website, we only display a 72 DPI, high quality, but lower resolution image that you can't really print because we don't want anybody trying to screenshot it, steal it, or anything like that with all of the image security that we have. And we have all sorts of image security.
Got it. I'm not sure how to react to this comment, Mariah, about the pagan holiday. I don't know the pagan holiday, but all I read out of this is that you're doing your marketing, Mariah, and I am on board with that.
I applaud it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I have no opinion. I'm Swiss neutral. We're Swiss neutral. But Mariah is learning and understands like the holidays, the art selling holidays, the major holidays, like get behind it and water ski behind it, that's what, because consumers are thinking about it, and in your art, I'm guessing, appeals to that audience. And that's all it is. It's that simple, right?
Yeah. We have 4 minutes. We're up against it on our thing. I want to go rapid fire with what I have left, but if you have any final remarks, you got to let me know what they are.
Go for it. All I'm saying is, everybody, just a reminder, spring art selling season, take advantage of it. Don't miss it. We're here. You're here. You're listening to us. We're giving you the best advice that we can. Don't miss the spring art selling season. All right.
I love this one. I love this one, Tamaka. So when they see your process and they say, I can't wait to see the finished painting, what do you suggest I say? When I finish it, it's going to be for sale for $2,000, but anyone wants to buy it right now, all you have to do is leave a deposit and I'll knock $500 off the price. And then shut up, right? And then shut up and see what happens. Like a lot of times you can take a deposit on the processed photo on the process and just say, I give a super sweet, if you want to buy it right now, I'll give you a super sweet deal before I finish it, right? It's a form of a buying question, right? Indigo's asking, should I be using my name instead of business name? It doesn't really matter. Like either way, the creative businesses or individual based businesses, they're driven by individuals. So you're going to have to use your name anyway, unless you're Banksy, in which case you definitely don't need to, right? That's what I would say. I barely have a video on my homepage. Can I get some eyes on it? Let me know if it's the best fit. I wouldn't have a video. I wouldn't have a video on your homepage unless you have nothing else. I would just have a grid of your images. That's what I would say. Yeah, I prefer you guys use your real names because you guys are the brand at the end of the day. Like, again, if you're a Banksy or if you have like an art name that you're going to use, fine. But, like, okay, when I market art storefronts, it should not be all about me because I'm representing a huge company made up of hundreds of employees. You guys are companies of one. There's one of you, okay? So it should be you. The brand should be you, right? We do want to know who you are. We do want to know what your name is, unless you're hiding behind like you're, a graph artist or, someone that's doing some things that are questionable legally, or you're going to have like, a nom de guerre, nom de plume, however you want to say it. So that's what I would say. Yeah, art with Rachel. I think that the DSLR cameras do just as good as the scanners do. Like if it's really easy to get your stuff scanned and you have a scanner, great, use the scanner. But why would you do that when the camera can come to you, right? And you don't have to move the art around at all. That's what I would say. Guys, Instagram's going to kick me off because it's been an hour. Awesome hour. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks for asking the questions. That was super fun. I think we probably went through like 50 of them. Anytime we're live, any questions you have, ask them. We want to help. I don't care if you're a customer or not. That's what these things are for. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. I'm off to go watch the U.S. men's national team take on Jamaica. We'll see how that goes. Huge soccer fan here. Huge soccer fan. But thanks, guys.